some of these slides are the same you saw in San Diego, for those of you who were there, but just kind of to get everyone on the same playing field of what's going on, what's coming out, and then we'll get to some new stuff. All right, PowerCon 2012.
Yeah!
All right, so first let's just recap what's coming out. All right, Frost's coming out next month. Let's remove that shield. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. What's going on with those arms? The glove issue here. All right. The glove, see, some people don't even know. There was an issue that looked like we weren't quite sure whether or not her gloves were swapped on the arms. So we basically got a ton of samples and we went through them at detail, at nauseam. It did turn out the Mattel direction sample that we sent to the plant was correct. So this wasn't like Ravato's shoulders where Mattel had Ravato sitting on our desks for a month. Unfortunately, the vendor did misassemble the majority of them. It's beyond our control. It stinks when this kind of thing happens. But we went to management and said, we need a solution to this. We reviewed, our options were really limited because this line is run so low. What they're going to allow us to do, subholders can return their Frosta for a full refund if you want. Normally we don't allow that, but because we know this going in, we're going to make that rule. There's going to be no new production. We did look into that, but the delay was like a year and the cost was ridiculous. So there's no replacement stock. So if you get a Frosta that the gloves aren't right, it's not like you can return it for another one. But we are going to make a little free gift for subholders because of this. Because this kind of stuff shouldn't be happening. Honestly, this one was out of our control. It's human error. I mean, the arms look so similar and the vendor made a mistake. These things happen. So we're going to look into something kind of similar to what we did with Ghostbusters with that free slimer. We're not ready to announce what it is, but there's going to be something that we do want to make this up to subscribers.
I know.
So that's what that's kind of what's going on.
Oh god.
All right. Back to happy news. Rattler. He will come with that super sheet with the Great Rebellion. That's only going to be for subscribers. So if you're a day of purchaser, you are not going to be getting the sticker sheet.
Does it come with the rattle? Like I put in the...
Yes, yeah. It does have a rattle in the tail. Oh, God, I should introduce the panel here. This is Mark Ariola.
Yeah!
Of course, Eric from the Four Horsemen. Designer extraordinaire. All right. I don't know if he's in the room, Terry, or he's here, but this is
I saw him come up. Where's Terry?
Where's Terry?
Terry
Gucci, ladies and gentlemen. So that's Terry's contribution to the 30th anniversary line. All right, then we got the weapons pack coming out in October.
Keldor swords.
Who's gotten their free accessory gift? What do you guys think?
I want it. I still have my coupon.
Yeah, so this is the non-splitting Keldor sword that we're giving away to the first 1,000 people with tickets.
Nice.
The version that comes in the weapons pack will split into two halves. So it's essentially the same sculpt, but it's tooled in two different ways.
Nice.
So if you didn't get this one, you'll still get the weapons pack and it'll split. But for those of you at PowerCon, and maybe a few other small events we do this year, you'll be able to get this exclusive Keldor bondage set.
Nice.
All right. In November, we've got Decker coming out with both heads that we got in the old version. You've seen that case. Also in November, revealing Comic-Con.
I know.
The Philippine
It doesn't look like the Burger King anymore.
Then we've got our fan contest. We thought we'd show off some of those runners-up again.
Oh, man,
And we showed it on. First there was Rajar.
I made
That's awesome. I'm gonna be here.
3 by John Howard. Buckalore by Jim Henderson.
Oh, that
Major
It's like Ghost Rider.
Stand up, Michael. Anyone know any of those guys in the room? Who's here?
3Bs.
3Bs. Our big winner of the contest, Castle.
Yeah!
Daniel
I
here?
know, dude.
No, I know he's a power.
Oh, I know,
Well,
dude.
congratulate him if you see him. So his figures in the case, the hair is a little less golden than you see here. The final version is in the case. It's a little bit more green and white, less Spicoli looking. So there he is, Castle Grayskull Man. He was a big winner of the 30th anniversary of the Creative Character Contest. Another round of applause for Daniel Bennett. All right, coming in December.
Yes. Pixel Dan! Pixel Dan, man! Yay! Yay for Dan! Woo! He's happy now.
Next up.
I know. I'm gonna have to one full
And
shelf.
on sub-items, so the Temple of Darkness
Yay.
sources, you can miss out on her here or in New York Comic-Con,
There.
any remaining stock. Although it's looking like we're selling out really fast, so I don't know if there's remaining stock. But if there is, you'll be able to get her on Matty Collector in December. Same version sold at the shows.
Yeah! Three Christmas time.
Now the close to final gramming here in the case is now made of plastic, not resin, so you can see how the articulation works. He's huge. This guy is the biggest Master Universe Classics figure we've ever done, at least to date. All right, 2013. The year you guys made happen. So refresh. All
Want
right,
too
so you're
bad
gonna
and
get
glimmer.
12 monthly figures if you're a subscriber at 25 each or 27 a day of. Now there
Oh,
will
I
be
know.
some
Well, yeah,
figures
we
that
did
may not
right
be
now, for
available
sure.
today. We're still
He was
working
the
out the
reason
quotas, but for the sub, you will be getting all 12. There'll be 4 quarterly items. These could be variants or oversized, meaning larger figures or multi-packs. One's at $25 or 27 day up. One will be 30 or 33. That one is Ram Man that we revealed. One is 50 or 55 day up. And one is 75 or 81 day up. That's the Fighting Foe Man that we revealed. There'll be one club exclusive figure, which is good for that, was the sign-up fee of 25. For those who's a sub holder here? All right, that's why we're doing the look. We have our map. The club is not going to include convention items, like Temple of Darkness Sorceress there, potential vehicles, potential weapon packs, or other standalone items. So those will be outside the sub.
What's
But we are going to allow subholders to have early access for
pre-
first time ever at those
Preternia.
items. And we're trying to find
Preternia
ways
was
to
the
find
number.
shipping. We're still working on it, but at least you'll get early access. All right, January 13, as you'll see in our case already, is the toss-up. One's based a little bit more of a filmation look. Eric, anything you wanted to add? I know there were a lot of thoughts about, why we need to wear helmets, like why wasn't this look?
I don't know. We talked about it a little bit on Roast Google. A lot of it ended up being budget. Unfortunately.
It's always budget.
Yeah, that was, because originally we talked about doing the second headrest. Are there accessories and really it just ended up getting cut, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it was because of her cape, her neck, because of the material. It had to be its own separate tool.
Right.
So that really had to be.
And it's a really large
Yeah.
piece, so.
Did I get that right? Okay. Whose cell phone's going on?
Oh, yeah.
All right, the big one.
He's been my display for the last kid.
He's got the width of 2 figures, I think, and he weighs as much as almost. Like, he's a paperweight. he'll definitely hold your book. February 13th.
Yeah.
He does have 2 short, what do they called precisely? The weapons? Comments? Not periods? Commas, and he has a long sword katana. All right, I know a little bit of sword play. All right, so he's got 3 guns, 2 of which attached to the back. There's been a lot of questions about his metal or gold hand, if you will. It's not exact metal, nor does it articulate, so you cannot hold a weapon in that hand. But just like same kind of with Fisto, or just like the mystery. So just to clear that up. So people were asking, that's not articulated there. All right, March 13th. We've got our next big filmation. Any words on something you want to talk about any of those accessories?
I didn't even know what to call the thing. That energy rod weapon was from one of the original concept drawings in Folsom, which we just couldn't come up with that, but that was just a really cool piece of as far as I was concerned, it didn't really need accessories at all. I think Fenman's the coolest, so. But yeah, so it's kind of fun going back through the archives and trying to find some old items like that, or things to plus up the figures.
And his tongue is articulated.
Nice.
His tongue was good. All right, the subscription figure, if you were a sub holder, King He-Man. Back for one last battle, ripping his electronic power sword out of retirement, because someone else seems to have the power of Grayskull sword at this point in the story. And a little that's revealed because we've got a brand new logo sticker designed by Mr. Varela there. The new team sticker for King He-Man.
Ooh. Hero, solo, He-Man.
So we get some new factions in the line.
Oh my god.
The map is going to be
Pre-Turning.
Subturning.
Yeah.
There you see Cuscus in the center.
Oh yeah, that's
All
right.
the
Pre-Turning is this year. Yeah.
Spallian fiefdom.
I cannot feel bad.
Temple of Serpos down there, a lot of cool stuff happening under the horizon. There'll be an exclusive mini comic only with King He-Man. It's the only one we're doing for 13. It's produced by DC because they're our new comic partner, but it'll be in the same style and format as the 2012 Dark Horse. Even the title page is the same. We copied the same format, it's just the logo that changed. The same creative team does the 3 2012 mini comics. There's the cover for you. The origin of Skeletor at last revealed. More information than you've ever known. There was more the origin of Keldor, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Goes back a bit further. There's definitely a lot of new information. It's not just a retelling of episode 32, Rise of the Sea. But the panels based on that episode do appear. All right, Q2 2013, we have our next quarterly item. Actually inspired by the model.
You've been building those for years.
A little bit about the names and how the logos.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, so the names, those are named after 3 of the 4 horsemen, stable, I guess you could say, Sheridan, Shane, and Owen. So they're all
funny, I
players
still have my
on the
talent.
names given the masters of the universe style makeover. And the chest emblems, each one has, because once we get into the bio portion of it, they were one-time Horde members. So they each have a Horde chest plate, and then the chest plate that represents the vehicle that we drive. And then the weapons also were all inspired by...
Actually, it's the opposite.
Oh, is it the opposite?
And then the cable.
Okay.
Just so we don't...
Yeah, we don't...
Otherwise, it's going to be a fiasco.
But design-wise, the weapons but also were inspired directly from the vehicles that each one of the characters pilots.
Yeah, so these are based on the original model cage liners from the 80s, so 3 of them. And fans have been asking, did you ever do those figures? And we have a clever way of doing it. So there you go. Fighting foeman. Yeah. We'll learn more about them in their bios. All right, then we had a fans' choice slot that we announced at Comic-Con where everyone who bought a sub was allowed to vote for the character they wanted. They could vote between Crash Landing Marlena, Cloak and Dagger Evelyn, Geldor, Mini-Comic Trapjaw Lumina, Songster, Camo Con, and Mask of Power Demon. And the big winner that's been announced is Geldor. So Geldor is going to ship probably November 2013, give or take a month. I'm still locking things down. It should be the monthly sub figure that month. So pretty cool to have another mini-comic. I think we're kind of starting to spec out too, which accessories he comes with, how we're going to do them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, early stages of that. So yeah, definitely have to have the blast or something. Could happen, possible. All right, what's next? Our traveling 2012 con. Oh, actually, that should be 13. Wrong date there. All right, I've just caused date gate. That's a fiasco. Everything's a fiasco.
Oh yeah.
Strobo.
Killing the line.
So Strobo. The alternate head for Zodak. That if you bought a Zodak, which actually went on sale again this month, it already sold out, you could pop that head on. Now you have the mask this one. We've been trying to find a way to get this head out for years. So he will be our traveling convention figure in 2013, despite what it says on the screen. And we'll be at shows like hopefully PowerCon in New York. We don't know what shows we're going to next year yet, but whichever ones those are, we're trying to have them ready as early in the year as possible so that we can support whatever international or local or whatever shows happen. All right, so next year, hopefully you'll get us going. All right, April 2013.
Yes, it's a snake man. Oh,
Snake face, I think my personal favorite snake man, just because he's the only one I had when I was a kid. I never had any of the others. So he will come in, I hope you get this all right. So he's got two heads. He's got the staff, the shield, and then the two little armor pieces on the chest. You can unplug those and then plug in those two green snakes that you see in the picture on the right. So did I get all that right? Yeah? Okay, wow, I think so. Hopefully everything you see in this picture is included. This figure's still in development, but it looks good to go. Worst case is we may have to delete the staff, but we're hoping that won't happen. We don't want to delete that one. There's a lot of that.
yeah.
So if there's any changes, we'll update you. But he definitely has both heads. Yeah, the head was definitely more fun.
$25 a bird get that set.
If something got to go to the staff, we don't need to burn it. All right. May 2013.
Too bad. Huh? Oh. Of course, there had to be new adventures like that.
What's quickly around the office, I think being called the predator of the space warrior with dreadlocks. So there's Karate, one of the space mutants from New Adventures. They'll be joining Optic and Slashhead to battle Carius.
Oh, I
Anyone
know.
else who
Seriously,
can
New
help out?
Adventures he met. That's
He comes with his gun and his knife, just like the vintage figure. And I think a face plate or like with a hat or something. Maybe making that up? Making it up, okay. Sometimes you can't tell because pieces like break off or accessories is a good glue. All right, June 2014.
oh yes. Is it what I think it is?
Filmation goodness, and some people can get that.
Yay.
So here's probably one of the coolest what we call silhouettes in the line. Octavia, who is just massive with his tentacles. And what we
want
made
her.
sure we're doing, because each tentacle is unique, We're going to make sure they're customer assembly, so there's no mess up in which tentacle gets plugged in where. So you'll get the tentacles, but you'll have to plug them in yourself in the package. So you know the tentacles won't be reversed. There's so many of them. They're all like just a little bit different, so we didn't want to risk anything where they might get assembled wrong. And she does come with 4 of the same sword and the Horde crossbow, but now with little like tentacle.
Yeah.
My love grab. No, that's not. All right. What was that?
Oh, nice.
She doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, and somehow I think her left arm didn't make it to the show, so if you see her on display and she's missing her left arm, it's only because somehow it wasn't in bed. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Weird.
That's kind of sad.
Well, she does have extra.
We have a New York Comic Con art show coming up. October 10th and 24th, Toy Tokyo in New York.
Yeah, there's
Benefiting the Ronald McDonald House in New York. We're going to have the 30th anniversary art show. So there's going to be 20 new pieces of art from the 30th anniversary on display and for sale. Some of this art you may have seen already, some of it's going to be brand new. All the proceeds are going to go to the Ronald McDonald House in New York. The first 500 visitors on opening night will get a free print. And the Temple of Darkness Sorceress will also be available here that night for $22, 24 hours before she goes on sale at New York Comic Con. Same one you guys are all getting at this show, same one in New York, but there's going to be a small limited quota available at Toy Tokyo at the art opening night, which will be October 10th, it's a Wednesday. It will run for the next 2 weeks, and all the benefits, anything you buy there is going to go directly to the Ronald McDonald House. So it'll be a great time. I'll be there. All right, the big announcement. A lot of people thought the big announcement was going to be that the line was being canceled. We did that last night. We were saying, okay, it's one of 3 things. It's either like a play set, the movie, or the line is being canceled. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to hype all this excitement.
I hope it's fair.
All right. So the movie, no, definitely that's in Sony's camp. So we don't have anything to announce about a movie. But we're going to try something a little wild and crazy we've never done before. I can't believe we actually got management on board. We're going to try, and I'm emphasizing the word try, to do the Castle Grayskull.
What?
Rock band that
made up of Castle Grayskull, man. That's right.
Because basically, it's really difficult to do something like this. Just to get the resources to sculpt or to tool is really difficult because you're talking a lot.
I will need my 2000
so we
next
can't
one.
get that. But we went to management to explore any kind of option we could possibly have. And what we agreed on is if we don't even sculpt it and we do a pre-order that's just based on announcing it and a visual, that we were going to try to do the pre-order fall 2012. If we meet a minimum quota, and we'll have a meter, just like we did with the hoverboard or with the subscriptions, we're going to try to deliver it fall of 13, so Christmas 13. Due to the huge amount of design work, we don't have the resources to even build a looks-like model or to a sculpt or anything. So we're going to show a B-sheet. We're going to premiere a B-sheet at New York Comic Con in 3 weeks. Of approximately what it's going to look like, or at least the direction we're going in. Approximately a $200 price tag.
That's fine. That's good.
Fine.
Yeah. That's fine. That's way better than I thought. People were saying
Take my money!
take my money!
Yeah, none of this is final. It could wind up being a little more, but we should be able to lock in at least an approximate price by the time we start the pre-sale, probably right after New York Comic Con, so a month from now. The full details of B-sheet will be revealed. So now you won't be charged during the pre-sale, but your credit card will be authorized. And we need the minimum number of customers just to even move forward. If we do get the minimum, the next step is to sculpt something so that we can show a sculpt at New York Toy Fair in February of 13. So that's the plan. If we can get enough pre-orders off of the B sheet only, then we'll sculpt it and go forward from there. So it's really in your hands. Now what are we looking at for this? What Castle Grayskull and Classics? Obviously there's been a lot of Castle Grayskulls over the years. There's been animated, there's been models, there's been different comic book renditions, or a Comic-Con version. Someone even built a snow Castle Grayskull. So we thought we'd do the snow one. Really, where we decided to focus our efforts is looking at the original market.
Yeah! I'm down with that.
So imagine this, bigger.
Yeah!
So this is in scale to what, the 5-inch figure was the original He-Man, and the Classics is about 6.5. So, plus it up that much. We don't know what we're talking about everything in this image. We're not saying this is what you're getting. This is the influence. Specifically,
Just
looking
have
at
the
things
front
like
of
the
it,
minaret, the ledge, the playmat, the elongated mouth. All those
Oh, they
things
got
that
the
fans know,
playmat?
especially because this was the capsule that showed up in a lot of media. It showed up in the mini-con. It even was used in a licensing kit for years. It had that little ledge on it. It wasn't in the toy. So we know this is a version of the castle people have really been looking at. And if we're going to do Castle Grayskull, we only have really one shot, and it's going to take pre-orders. So look for more information in New York, and hopefully a B sheet of kind of where we're going, and start saving those attorney rubies. Because hopefully for $200 by Christmas next year, maybe we'll all have a Castle Grayskull under that tree. So.
Yeah!
Weapon is another shade of green. All right, so we're going to open it up. We should have quite a bit of time. Oh, we have only 20 more minutes. So I think the best way to do this is to line up down the center with the microphone. We're going to take all questions. I can't answer shipping questions. I can't tell you why your product is going to a certain place at a certain time, but we'll answer smart and brand questions. And yeah, let's start it off. Point number one.
Thank you for reveals. My question was about some of the Black Classics have been using with some of the figures. I know you said something about being able to fix it maybe. My question is about whether or not does that mean that other figures might ahead after Decker are possibly unfinished. Then like I talked about like that Comic-Con. Room is here, that's room, but then also possibly having like silver paint after the place of the light blue, which is a lot more accurate to what the cartoon intended and what the toy had. So she wouldn't lose so close to Frost that the color scheme. And then in that note, how Frost's white came out a little gray. If that's also like possibly that more brilliant white to it.
So the question is, can Frost's color be changed?
Yes, since there's time.
There is not. Yeah, that's pretty much like, if you look in the case, you'll see you have also Rayman and Shih Tzu. They're much closer to production, and they're pretty much what we get.
This is the first time I've seen this particular film. I was at the last year's event, of course. I see you have toy-based recreations, and also some filmation recreations, like what you mentioned today.
Yes.
Now, I wrote The Greatest Show on Eternia, and I was wondering if you could get Giggles the Clown. You should, think about it. And I put it
Comes up on the boards quite a lot. But usually as a figure as, my God, don't make this.
Filmation could have gone in that direction if I stayed beyond that episode. One vote in for Giggles the Clown.
Anyone else? Giggles the Clown?
Someone, a fan could do that.
They could.
I support.
Okay.
I support. Yeah, I was just wondering when the metal graph will come out.
Buy a Wind Raider. Yeah, well, it's going to be a little difficult to make another vehicle while we still have the current vehicle in stock. Honestly, the Wind Raider did not sell like the way Battle Cavalry and Light was sold. So, one of the interesting vehicles, you know, you see that we're talking about the pre-order for Castle Grayskull. Castle Grayskull is a lot more recognizable than the Wind Raider, or that, you know, Battle Ram. You know, I kind of used the litmus test. If you took the Castle Grayskull and you took a Battle Ram and you put them on a tape in any major city, in really any country, more people are going to come up and say, oh, that's Castle Grayskull, than are going to come and say, oh, that's the Battle Ram.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what, you know, let's see how the castle does, because 100% tooled, complicated things are tough. So we thought we'd try the thing that's the most recognizable, the biggest chance of selling, even though it's more expensive. If we double the minimum to do Castle Grayskull, Battle Ram, I think, is the next thing we try to do. So
Yeah.
it's all of the fans to support the pre-sale.
I was wondering if you're looking to leave an auto place for each people on
The vintage model kits, those weren't produced by Mattel.
I realize that, but I'm just contacting the company that did make it.
At this point, we haven't. Yeah, it's a cool idea. The chance of the mold existing still, probably slim to none. I mean, just based on what Mattel still has. It's a cool idea. I'll contact Classic Media and ask them. No plans at this time. But that might go to them.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to possibly get Castle Grayskull. Can you say what the pre-order number is supposed to be? I mean,
It's close to the quota that we had for the subscribers for 13. If every person who bought a subscription for 13 buys a Castle Grayskull, and I don't mean like let's say someone bought 3 subscriptions, and they have to buy 3 Castle Grayskull, that number is pretty close. So if we get everyone who bought a 2013 subscription buys a Castle Grayskull pre-order,
I'll buy 2
we're
if
gonna
I
be
have
good.
to.
There you go, guys. We can do it.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. I'll pre-order 2.
People need to buy them.
I think you should get in the line this guy.
Maybe a month and a half ago or so that about one of the surprises for next year being perhaps something that I think proposed would be a way to get more fan favorites. I'm just wondering if you can let me know.
We'll be announcing that in New York Toy Fair. Yes, something to say. Come on, I just gave you Castle Grayskull.
AT&T can have like more Mattel crossovers between the brands, like Pop, Mighty Max, Pop, Masters, like just kind of not only being product of Masters, but kind of like celebrating Mattel in general. Like, since Mighty Max is kind of a big fancy brand as well, I'd like to see the 6-inch Max fighting over the
6-inch Mighty Max. Who else wants to see that? All right, so you're going to buy one, and you're going to buy one. All right.
Hey Scott, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I just want to thank you for going to bat all those times against Mattel. I know you get a lot of grief. I've given you some on the forum, but I just want to thank you.
You're the one.
My question was on the Grayskull thing since you brought it up. When the con happens and they have the demo one show, are you guys thinking of opening additional orders at that time, or would it be you have to get in before it's even shown, or you miss out?
It's probably going to have to be, a pre-order during the E-Shield. What's going to happen, so just to go through the steps again. So we'll show the B-Sheet in New York, or I think it's called a control drawing. Is that the right term? Control drawing. And then we'll do the pre-orders. We'll have the pre-orders probably go for almost 2 or 3 months, probably through the end of the year, the 31st of December. That's the window to pre-order.
Right, I just thought maybe if you, let's say you get 100% and by the time you need it, but then additional people want to jump in, after you show it in February. Would it be possible for additional people to add on?
It's possible, but don't count on it.
Okay.
Like, if that's what you're waiting for, don't do that. But it might be, it all depends on, essentially, if we can lock in at minimum quota, then we will back out into an avail date and figure out what our cutoff is for when we have to tell the vendor what the quote is, so they can buy raw materials and start costing it out. So we're so not there yet, because essentially management's like, look, we're not even going to give you the resources to start negotiating with the vendor, or even sculpt, or even do anything, but take a pencil to a piece of paper.
We appreciate it though, because that's what we were even telling you, hey, just, give us a price and we'll go for it, so let's see if we actually do.
All right, I did.
All right.
Make it happen.
I know it has to be built, it's going to be built with a forward, I don't even see the technology. My question is, will it be available for international customers? Will they be able to?
Yeah, it won't have electronics in it, so it will ship worldwide. You guys, you can't do this without international.
I was gonna ask the little mini He-Man figures from San Diego Comic-Con.
Like 2 years ago?
Yeah. Are those gonna be made, or are they kind of like on the back burner because of everything?
We're still looking at it. Yeah, they actually went up to costing a lot more than we expected, and the whole idea was to. Yeah, the whole idea was to produce something that was a little less expensive, but they were coming out as much as a 6-inch. It was like, oh my gosh. So we're still trying to figure it out. Do we offer a multi-pack, a single, we love them. We've talked to a few retailers, but we haven't really had any competed, so maybe, we're still trying to lock in what we're doing for 13 and 14 still off, so maybe we like them.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, during possibility of
You have an 87? Yeah. So essentially, well, yeah, we do not have the rights to the 87 We've talked to Warner a few times, and it's not really a priority for them. So I wouldn't. We just announced Calvin Grace!
Yeah!
We're going to get the 87 right, and people are going to say, well, when are you going to do the Brazilian comic from 1983 that had to do so? What about that?
Okay, so I'm mainly asking this because you say everyone at conventions are so nice compared to the boards.
Yeah.
I understand it is no one who is currently up there on the stage or whatever you call that at the moment, no one who made the decision. But isn't it actually understood that indoors forms being switched was flat out a mistake that messed up the anatomy of the figure? And was there any reprimand given at all? Completely just, okay, so do that, it's cool.
It kind of was this latter. That's up to the design team to decide how to do it. That's the way they want to go. Yeah. I mean, I know for us in this room, this is our hobby. And we're also passionate about it, and it's what we spend our spare money on. We take these figures out at night and set them up, and it's relaxing just to have them.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with a line that's this small, it means so much to us. And it's hard to kind of put those into terms when you're looking at this line has always been a square peg in a round hole. Mattel's not set up. They're set up to pump out lawn dolls and little fast cash cars. Not to throw around any brand names. And it's not set up to do extremely small run collector lines. And at the end of the day, not every figure. It's also not always easy to find a vendor who can do these because vendors in Hong Kong and China, they want to make 1 million pieces of a little plastic bowl, like a child's sippy cup. The same companies that make action figures make things like sippy cups and toothbrushes and anything made out of plastic, and they can produce millions, if not billions, of them. To do a couple thousand is like all that setup work, and they're all assembled by hand painted. And I hate coming in front of people and saying that's the way it is, but we're so lucky to be just getting these. And I know I kind of sound like I'm blowing my own horn here, but we are. We're lucky to even be getting anything. And not that justifies reversed arms or swapped legs or breaking legs or QC problems or cross-eyed skateboards or whatever. Despite what we do everything we can to make the best line we can with the resources we have. It's not like
here, and I know it was a design choice, but I guess my big thing is that it messed up the sculpt, and as an artist who's worked with engineers and other people they've then messed up what I've done and completely ruined something that is like I put a lot of work into. I know, at least to me, if I was one of the sculptors, I would be then insulted by something like that. So it's,
I'm not disagreeing at all. I mean, you know,
yeah. Basically, I just wanted to put this down so that it might come back, and then they might hear.
that, you know, some I can tell you that there are some people in the audience that are on the design and engineering side that are kind of just listening in, so they hear you. They may not be on the stage, but they're in this room. Maybe they're sitting next to you. Don't look like that helpless.
They see you. What's up, Phil? You're out there. Good to see you.
No, guys, you have every right to be asking these things. Coming back and saying, Frosta's gloves are supposed to be going this way, not that way, or Sneaker's arm should have been pointing out this way, not that. We have every right to ask that. Absolutely. And we do everything we can to deliver that. It breaks my heart too. I mean, especially, things like over 5. I had been sitting on my desk for 2 months and I never noticed his shoulders were wrong. I could have said something, but I thought, I never looked at him before, so I should have. I hate using the whole, making an omelet breaks some eggs, but it's when you're making so few. You guys don't, I hate, this line is like tiny, so tiny, but it means so much to all of us, and that's why we put everything in and we try to get every video right, but not everyone is going to turn out right. I don't know what else. I don't know.
And also the process of getting these things out there and the amount of eyes that look at it, and then the amount of hands it passes through, and it's in the scheduling and what have you, some things get lost. It's happened to me, and Ruben, everybody who's working on this line or on other lines, things happen. It just happen. And it's unfortunate, but when they happen at a certain point in the schedule, it's either do or die, and you either get it or not. So it's up to you. Not have it or have it.
Yeah, that was basically where we got to the process. You saw that picture. We had like 100 of them. We opened all of them to see if it was a small percentage, was all of them, and we went there. And it was good. I was up there in front of VPs saying, what do I do about this? This is like another small part, but this one was beyond my control. And yeah, it was like, you know what? We can cancel the figure and don't do normal. Or you get it, it's where they are. So, up in circles.
My question is sort of has two parts to it, but as you've said in the past, that basically the cost of the product to the customer information goes the line. And I think the one area where Mattel can sort of affect that without affecting the product or affecting their bottom line is shipping. Combining shipping for a lot of contracts should subscribe. And I subscribe now, but I think you lose customers in that process.
Yeah, I will not disagree with you. And we are doing everything we can to find new, improved shipping methods. It's, again, it's like square peg in a round hole. Because you look at like American Girl or Hot Wheels collector or Barbie collector, and they don't ship internationally. One of the reasons we went with Digital River was because of that. Because a good chunk of our business is international. If you're a Hot Wheels collector and you want to ship to outside the U.S., you need to find a pen pal in the U.S. to buy the product for you and then ship it to you. I completely agree with you. Yeah. We are actively trying to find a better solution every day.
I think, probably everyone in this room is committed to the product, but you're losing people by not getting good buying shipping and out, whatever resources it takes.
Are you talking about combining day up with your subscription?
Exactly.
That one, we've been down the road with Digital River on that one. It was just the way it's set up. That restaurant, we're trying to find a way to, we're not exploring that.
It just seems like it'd be so worth the resources.
And we're putting everything we have to it. It's like, when your resources are this big, and the problem is this big, it's like the more you throw a stone into a fire.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I can tell you, you guys at home, you guys here, we are absolutely aware of that issue. We're doing everything we can. And I always hate falling back on this one, like I said a minute ago, but it's like we're so lucky we get into this at all. Take away the QC problems and the shipping problems and, at the end of the day, we're getting new masters and universe characters every month. You know, remember what it was like back in 2006 and 7? There was nothing, you know? Not that that justifies it, but right now, we're doing the best we can with what we have. We're constantly, I'm begging management for resources every week. I mean, I go there and I do, you know, how do you think we get Castle Grayskull made? You know, it's like we make these pitches, they ask for more resources for shipping, better quality control, they give us everything they can.
Sort of an attachment to that is that in the state of California, which we both live in, we don't actually, if you charge shipping and handling as a separate piece, and you're not like a mattress company, you can't deliver something your own truck, and you actually charge it as a separate item, you're not supposed to charge tax. And it's not a big deal, but that's like $1 a month that doesn't help the doesn't help the customer. And it doesn't affect me wanting to subscribe, but somebody's making that decision. That $1 a month.
I think some of it has to do with the logistics of the way the delivery is set up, and the way the cart works.
But it'd just be a line code.
It's not just a line, it's also like there's contractual obligations and stuff. But let me put that back to you.
I think every $1.
Yeah. I would like, you know, well, actually, what about this? Would you guys, now right in 2013, the figures are going to be $25 a figure. Would you be willing to pay $30 if shipping was free?
Yeah. Woo! Hell yeah, it's cheaper. Is that with or without tax?
What was that?
With or without tax?
Well, I think there might still be tax. If it was between $30 and $35, done out the door, no, you know, no other charges, that included shipping.
Yeah. It's like I go to Nevada and come back home, isn't it? Because that's what happens to me. It goes to Nevada and comes. It's like, why is California and Nevada too?
Just because Amazon's a big, you know, they ship everything over $25 free or something like that.
Amazon Prime.
If go to a ship like that, would you be willing to pay, you know, $30 to $35 a figure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good enough. I mean, like I said, we're exploring every out of the box possible scenario that gets shipping down, cost down, and more figures too. And we still got 7. Okay.
Hi, my question is about the Castle Grayskull. Could you tell us a little bit more if it's going to open and close, and what are some of the fun, is it going to have any fun features like the plastic one?
We won't really know that until we work, because we're still getting it together, but the idea is to basically do what the vintage place is. I mean, but it could completely change, you know, so we'll know more.
A lot of stuff that happened for my brother. My question is actually about, well, one, we are instituted with you, we got 3 figures of the other horses. I know constant figures are kind of like, but it would be kind of cool to get an actual full horse and extra figures.
You don't have the Cornboy McFarlane figure? Was that a Frankenstein set?
That's awesome. Hey, can we take a ride?
You know, yeah, we actually talked about maybe some of the fight with foam and something like that. It's going to next box. You know, would you rather, you know, what? Sorry, yeah, like, would you rather have Barista or would you rather have a night with Eric's head?
No, and the other thing is, because of the dialogue talking about the shipping and stuff, a lot of the questions that you asked, those would be really neat if you like, were able to update MattyCollector.com with like a fan poll, like always like on the side, and an updating poll, like would you pay for this? A lot of this dialogue is really cool. You could see that kind of like weekly or monthly, like throwing that spaghetti against the wall.
Have you been to the Matty Asks?
I have. But I just feel like if there was more of that instead of having to search it out,
like gives it a more prominent. We're also trying to redesign the site. It looks like it was made in 1992. I mean, you know, no one's pretending, but again, it's like we'd rather put more resources into the toys, you know, than try to like redesign the whole site. It's expensive to do this stuff. We're running on, you know, spit wax. But sometimes.
I know, right?
First off, thank you for the reveals today. It's been very awesome. As far as the issue with the black plastic, I know that's been kind of a big, topic. Do you know, is it the paint,
being applied to the black plastic, or is it the black plastic itself that is rejecting the paint? I mean, that's never really been explained. Just, I know you guys are changing it with Decker, but you know, what's the issue with that?
Sure, I'll try to answer here. So, what it is so in 2012, the figures really should be $25. We're charging $20 because we were locked into that price when we sold the subscription. So we knew we couldn't increase the price. We did that in 2013, so we wouldn't have to do cost reducing measures like removing deco, etc. One of the things that we tried was, because so many figures use common parts, like let's say He-Man's chest, right? He-Man's chest is used on Hangman and Decker and Randor, tons of figures. So I believe, if design and engineering explained this correctly to me, and I'm remembering right, they had the vendor run all the pieces for let's say He-Man's chest was being used in 5 figures, 5 upcoming figures. They had to run them all at the same time, as opposed to run, let's say each figure is produced at 10 units, just let's say this example. So instead of running 10 He-Man chests now, and having to run 10 more in 2 months when we get to the next figure that uses that shared part, they ran all of them for 6 months at the same time and held on to them. It was a cost-saving measure. And they, I believe, did it in black because black was the most neutral base color that they could, because it's easiest to cover. At least I think I explained this right. But again, I'm not the engineer, so I could be screwing this up. Then on top of that, there were issues where the paint was not drying fast enough, which was a separate issue. So almost if the paint issue wasn't happening, then you wouldn't have known that there was black plastic in that.
Because you wouldn't plan ahead to use plastic that would reject paint, obviously.
Of course not, yes.
So I guess my thought was, why would it matter what color plastic was underneath? You know, if it's going to reject the paint, it's going to reject the paint, regardless of the color. So I just was trying to figure out, why the big to-do about the black plastic, and why is that going to change anything by removing as far as the paint issue?
I mean, the bottom line is we've heard very loud and clear, and visual examples help the best. We always need visual examples, discussion or a poll or, that kind of thing doesn't really help, because we can't go to our vendor and say, hey, look, 500 people have posted and said they don't like black plastic, but it's really the same 25 people posted over and over again.
But will removing the black plastic change anything with the paint issue?
They're 2 separate issues. So, 1, we're going to try to stop using black plastic as a base. And 2, we'll go back to our vendor to find a new paint drying method kind of thing. I'm not an engineer, I'm explaining this generally. So what people have combined in posts and in their, online as one issue is actually 2 different issues. And we've addressed both of them, so they won't repeat.
Okay, that's all I really wanted to know. Thank you.
And there you go. No one is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
Okay, I'm getting the, I got it cut. So, guys, thank you so much.
Go to BKBN.net. Go to BKBN.net.